Yo, check out this big old box we got. And another box. Let's see what's in them. Take a look at that. It's looking like a trike to me. Uh-oh. We've got one casualty already. One destroyed brake light. Yep, I see why that tail light broke. Right up against the pedal there. Yep. Alright, she's almost undressed. We're almost there. Alright, that's what she looks like all unwrapped. Now let's see what's in this box. What do we got in there? Like a rack, maybe? We got the seat and some accessories. Oh, it's like the wheels, the balance wheels, and the wheelie bar. Got all the parts and components, accessories. That's the seat, the back of the seat. We got the cargo rack. One more thing. Oh, we got some mirrors. All right, so that's all the parts, everything disassembled. Let's get this thing put together and see what it looks like. All right, Rocco and I managed to get the Breeze Pro put together. Everything is looking pretty good. Got a lot of parts and accessories on this thing. It took about an hour, hour and a half to put together. So I would definitely recommend getting some help doing it. But that being said, it wasn't too outrageous. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the battery charged up, and then we'll take this thing out in the world and see how it does. All right, so before we do our test ride on the MEETONE Breeze Pro, let's just go over a few of the features that it has. So down here we got a 750 watt motor that peaks at 1200 watts. That's going to get you a top speed of up to 22 miles an hour. The battery is a 20 amp hour, 960 watt hour, 48 volt UL certified battery. And you do have options to mount a second battery on this bike. There's all kinds of different configurations they offer. Now this bike does feature a torque sensor, so it's gonna give you the power you need when you need it. It's applied by that big old thick chain down there. And of course you've got hydraulic disc brakes on the front, and then you have two on the back on the inside of the wheels on either side. Looking at the seat here, they call this a semi-recumbent seating position. And just getting it over here a couple feet, it was pretty comfortable to ride. So on the back, you got this nice big cargo basket, and then underneath you'll see these wheels. This is actually an anti-tip stability system. Keeps you from doing any accidental wheelies or any crazy things that might happen. Keeps you grounded. Now with the setup I have, the single battery, it's gonna get you around 40 miles of range. This is a heavy bike, or trike, I should say. It's clocking in around 148 pounds. And the max load for passengers and cargo is 450 pounds. You can fit a pretty big rider on this thing. And now that it's fully assembled, it's kind of hard to see, but the rear axle does have a differential system. So when you're turning, you know, it's gonna allow you to keep up your speed and momentum while turning, as a differential would do. It's the same that's in your car, you know. And the MEETONE Breeze Pro does have reverse mode, and I'll show you that in a little bit once we get our test going. And we got an adjustable neck stem, not to mention the front basket with a cup holder. You know, it's got the lid and everything. You got your front headlight. And we got the mirrors, the rear view mirrors. Your display is down here in the middle of the bars, and it's got all of the information you could possibly want on there. It'll even tell you your voltage, which is really nice to have. That's a really good way to keep track of your battery life. And of course, it is a folding bike. It does fold here in the middle. It's got that nice step-through design, so you don't have to step too high to get over it. Perfect for seniors and people with limited mobility. And we do have some 18x4 fat tires. Same on the front and rear, 18x4. In case you're wondering, the retail price on this Trike is about $1,699. There is a Black Friday sale coming up, so definitely check that out. There are some savings to be had. Yep, this Trike is packed full of features. I could spend all day talking about them, but I'm sure you don't want to hear about that. You want to see how this thing performs. So let's hop on it and see what it can do. Okay, first order of business is a speed test. So we're here on our flat street. I think we all know that it can go slow, but we want to see how fast it can go. It says 22 miles an hour. So we're going to put it on top pedal assist, which appears to be pedal assist 3. And we'll see where we top out. Let's do throttle only. See how that does. Pretty quick, 16, 17 miles an hour already. 20, 21. We're at, it's like 21.7. Kind of topping out 21.7. We'll take it. We'll take it. That's not bad. We are kind of going against the wind a bit. Not too bad. Now it is kind of a different learning curve pedaling a Trike. You can't really lean into your turns. All right, let's pedal. Let's see how fast we go pedaling. Bumping it up. Yeah, about the same. Flat ground, 21.8 I just saw. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Gets up to speed quick. It's good acceleration. Torque sensor doing its job. How about a brake test? Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Oh yeah. 20 to 0 in about 10 feet. It helps having 3 discs on your disc brakes. All right, let's go find a hill and do a little hill climb test, see how it does. All right, I think it's time for a hill test. This one here should do just fine. It's not the craziest hill in the world, but it is pretty steep. I think that's a good representation of an average hill. So let's see how it does. Hop on and go for it. And I think for the majority of our tests today, we're just gonna be in pedal assist 3. All right, let's try it. I'll go ahead and shift down to gear 3. Yeah, so far that's pretty easy. That's pretty easy. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Again, that torque sensor, it knows when to apply the power. Yeah, I like that. That handled pretty well, I must say. All right, so we had our speed test, our hill test, and our brake test pass with flying colors. I think the only thing we got to do now is we got to do a bit of a distance test, and we got to test it on some other types of terrains besides the street. So I'll take it to a little dirt path area. We can try it in some off-road situations, and maybe even try it on the beach, because who doesn't like riding on the beach, right? All right, we're pulling up to a park here. Let's go straight off-road mode. No trails, no nothing. Ugh. If it's bouncy, it's because my phone mount is kind of broken. We're doing good though. And try to hold my phone steady. It's gonna look more bouncy than it is, but not too bad. Going over straight wood chips and tree roots. And it's definitely stable enough to maneuver with one hand. Now, of course, on the dirt path here, it's gonna handle a lot better. Yeah, I think that handles pretty good. It definitely has enough power for sure. Can we do a skid around the corner? Kinda. Yeah, I gotta say, this thing's got a really tight turning radius too. Check it out. Yep, I would say the off-road test passed with flying colors. The only kind of off-road we've got left to test is the beach. So let's head down towards the water and we'll see if we can take it on the sand. I'm pretty sure it'll handle it. I don't see why it wouldn't. All right, we made it to the beach. I gotta say that was a pretty pleasant ride down here. Now I'm seeing we've got quite a bit of beach erosion here though. So we'll see what we can do. Lots of seaweed. Oh, so far so good though. Monster truck in the seaweed. Yeah. Handling business down here on the beach. Not bad at all. I don't want to get it wet, so we will not get it wet. We might get it a little wet. Oh yeah, I'm having fun on this bike. Unfortunately, the beach is too covered in seaweed. The tide's too high. I can't really ride down the beach, but I've just been doing some laps right here, going through all the little seaweed obstacles, bringing it up into the soft sand. This thing handles well. I'm liking it. And I'm still on a high gear. I bet if I shift it down, it'll be even easier. But I think I've seen all I need to see. This is a certified beach cruiser, no doubt. I go through the soft stuff here. A little bit of a challenge, but we can do it. Oh yeah, easy. Not bad at all. Cool, that was fun. All right, let's pull up in the shade here and see what our range is. How far have we gone? So we gotta hit the I key, it'll go through. What do we got? So on the odometer, we have got 8.8 miles. Our battery is still full. Let's see on the voltage. Voltage, we've got 50.5 volts, which is still, yeah, pretty much a full battery. And then there is also an indicator on the battery itself. You can press the button and it'll tell you the battery. So we're still full on that one too. 4 out of 4 bars, looking good. Looking very good. So needless to say, this is a pretty impressive trike already. I mean, we hit the beach, hills, off-road. The seat, by the way, is super comfortable. I have zero fatigue at this point. I could probably sit on that thing all day. So far, I'm really liking it. So I'm gonna head back towards home base. We'll do our bike math, which means we'll calculate the range that we did combined with what battery we have left and see if that kind of stacks up to what the company says the range would be, but I think it will. Oh, it does have a horn. Ha! I didn't know it had a horn. See, you learn something new every day. That is a loud horn too. Oh, that's great. That's gonna really come in handy. All right, let's get back to home base, and I'll let you know what I think of the MEETONE Breeze Pro electric trike. You know what? Real quick, while we're in this big empty parking lot, I want to test out the reverse mode on some flat ground. Let's do it. Whoa. Whoa. That's trippy. You can't keep your feet on the pedals though, I've noticed. But yeah, that does come in handy. Like if you're up against something, you just got to take your feet off, hit that throttle, and you're going backwards. Five miles an hour backwards. Hit the brakes. Anti-tip. There we go. I like that. That's a cool invention. All right, well that was fun. Let's keep going. All right, we're pulling back up to the park where we started. What a fun ride. Super comfortable, super relaxing. Let's talk about it. All right, so what do we think of the MEETONE Breeze Pro? Well, the first things that come to mind are fun, stable, and comfortable. That big seat, super comfortable. The backrest is super supportive. I forgot to mention in the beginning, you can adjust this bracket to move back, move it up, move it down, put a little more angle on it. Mine's just kind of in the middle. Pedaling this trike was no problem at all. With the 7-speed Shimano gear system, I was able to conquer hills, soft sand, dirt, all that relatively easy. And that's saying a lot for a heavy trike like this. I mean, it did the beach, it did the soft sand, going over the seaweed, all that. Handled real good. The turning radius on this thing is amazing. Front fork suspension provided plenty of bounce over the serious bumps. You don't have rear suspension, but you do have fat tires and a fat seat, so that helps a lot with the bumps too. All in all, the comfort is definitely there. And the more time I spent on it, the more comfortable I got with the 3 wheels. So it does have a teeny little bit of a learning curve, but I was able to overcome it during the duration of my ride. And speaking of which, we've gone down one little battery bar. We got 48 volts left on the battery. We did how much? We did 17.2 miles on that trip, only budging the battery bar one little bit. Let's see what the one on the actual battery says. That one is showing full. Can we see that? A little out of focus, but I think you can see that. So what else? The basket did its job. This one, big old basket. This thing would be great for taking your metal detector and stuff to the beach. You can definitely fit a folded up Equinox or Manticore or something in there. You can mount your scoop through here. Very doable. A lot of options on this thing. The anti-tip wheels definitely came in handy on that reverse demonstration. So very stable, very stable. Again, that semi-recumbent seat, super comfortable, very easy to pedal. I have no fatigue. I rode around for almost 2 hours. Covered a lot of ground, a lot of different terrain, and we did it really easily. So it met my expectations in all forms of testing categories. Hill test was great, off-road was great, beach was great, the range is great. I mean, I think with the battery that we have and, you know, bike math, I think it'll definitely get to 40 miles. I mean, we almost did 20 and we still have more than half, almost full battery. So I think this thing will do 40, no problem, maybe even more. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, you can get different configurations of this bike that have dual batteries, larger batteries, 2 large batteries, a big one, a small one. It's plenty of options, tons of options. So is there anything that I don't like about the MEETONE Breeze Pro? No, not really. Not really. There's not much I can think of that I'm not a fan of. The only thing that was kind of a little bit of a pain was assembly. If you don't have someone to help you assemble it, it is kind of a bit much because it is heavy. It's a bit cumbersome, especially getting those back wheels on. But it comes mostly assembled anyway. And then another thing I'm not crazy about, but you know, you can't really help it, is the weight of the bike. It is pretty heavy. So when you're folding this thing up, you know, it is pretty heavy to lift and actually turn that piece in. Again, if you have someone to help you do that, I recommend it. Other than that, I had a really positive experience with this bike. I gotta stop calling it a bike. It's a trike. 3 wheels, trike. It was my first ever trike, so I really have nothing to compare it to. But comparing it to other e-bikes in its price range, I would say this thing meets all the demands. And again, this bike retails at the time of recording is $16.99, and there is a Black Friday sale coming up, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a discount code for you as well, so definitely take advantage of one, if not both of those, if you're in the market for an electric trike. The MEETONE Breeze Pro gets the Monterey Magnet Man stamp of approval, definitely. Had a lot of fun riding this bike today, and I hope you had a lot of fun riding with me. And of course, shout out to the folks at MEETONE for sending this thing out to check out. Really enjoyed the opportunity, super fun, and I can't wait to see what else they have available. So as always, stay up, stay blessed, and we will see y'all on the next one. Peace.